back to the Haunt Girls podcast. I'm Allie.
I'm Nikki.
And we are officially, when you're seeing this or hearing this, 102 days until Halloween Horror Nights 33.
Ooh,
And
almost in the
we
double
have our
digits.
very first announcement.
Yes, we actually got our first announcement over at the Spooky Empire HHN panel.
Yes.
But we're going to make you guys wait for that until we get into more of the spooky business.
Yeah, I know. Our outfits might give it away. If you're a real fan, you know.
I'm straight out of the con, so I tried. But before we get into the nitty gritty, make sure to follow us on all the social medias at Haunt Girls Pod, YouTube, Haunt Girls. Make sure to follow us, like, subscribe, follow all the fun stuff getting posted on there.
Chances are, if you follow us on any of those platforms, you've already seen us talk about this quite a bit.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
This is one we're very excited for, especially because this has been speculated for a while. We're not going to give it away. It's been speculated for a hot minute, and this is for, like, the lore people.
It is a huge fan favorite. This decision to bring this house to this year was definitely made with the fans in mind. And when I say the fans, I mean like the diehard fans who are here for the originals, essentially.
Yeah. And let's talk about Spooky Empire for a little bit, because they did this announcement at Spooky Empire.
They did, and what better way to announce an HHN house than a Spooky Empire surrounded by the horror community, essentially.
In Orlando. For those who don't know, Spooky Empire, they have now 3 times a year, because there is an event out of state as well.
Yes.
I believe in North Carolina. Yes. I would like to make it there someday. My devil horns are a little
maybe one day when I grow up.
Yeah, when we grow up, we like to go. But we always make sure to hit the one in Orlando. Absolutely. It's a must go all the time for us.
It is. And it's just, honestly, it's just nice being surrounded by people who, like, enjoy the same things as you.
Yes.
Not to mention all the stuff you get to buy, because, you know, we're material girls. All the celebrities you get to meet, usually, like, once in a lifetime, like, interactions you're getting here, and it's just like it's just a good vibe altogether.
And it's also it's very, very close to Universal Orlando, so if you're a big Halloween Horror Nights fan, even other haunts at Howl-O-Scream, SeaWorld, there's always plenty of people there to talk to who like those events, because we're all local. We're from Tampa, and we still go.
Yeah. So this was held at the Wyndham on International Drive. This is the last year that event is being held there, because that hotel is actually coming down, I believe, for Epic Universe related construction. I think is what's speculated. But this is the last year that it was being held in that location. I believe it's been held there quite often. It wasn't held there last year for some reason, but previous years it's always been held there. So I know a bunch of people who have been going to Spooky for a few years are kind of sad to be like at the last event that's being held at the hotel.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. Very exciting.
The cool thing is we got, both got to check it out, which is really fun. A lot of, like we said, some cool HHN stuff happened. But there's some other stuff that Nikki got to do a couple really cool photo ops that I know we want to talk about. If you do want to see, I don't know if Nikki took any pictures or videos, but we do have videos from the past and pictures. We've attended Spooky Empire before, so check out our YouTube and our Instagram. You can see all sorts of stuff, our experiences at Spooky Empire. It's so fun. Lots of really cool cosplays, lots of really cool like panels, people you can meet.
Yeah. So I didn't put too much on Haunt Girls from this weekend, just because Saturday was a little crazy with a family issue, so I had to skedaddle out of there pretty quickly. And then today, today's Sunday being the last day of the event, I had a photo op that I had to get to, and that was my main priority. But
let's talk about it. Yeah.
Photo op.
So it seems like, let's talk about Nikki met some vampires this weekend.
I did meet some vampires.
She likes track and she loves the vampires, but these are a little bit different vampires.
Listen, I'm wearing the shirt, so I feel like it's not a big surprise, but I was the Twilight girl.
We can't see the shirt.
Oh, it says, I love boys who sparkle. I'm a huge Team Edward fan. Robert Pattinson, if you're listening to this, I'm free on Friday. If you're free Friday, we can both be free Friday. But I grew up loving Twilight. I read all the books. I was that girl in school. That was just nonstop Twilight. I was dragging my mom to all the premieres at Thursday night at midnight. Thank you, Mom. Shout out to moms. But I had the opportunity.
We literally were like in middle school when I'm pretty sure I was in middle school. I had to go with like a parent to get in because I think it was PG-13. I
I
wasn't
had
sure.
no business reading those books when I did, but
we all
you
did.
can't stop me. Sorry, like you're gonna stop me from reading? Okay, sure.
It's a book. It's not gonna hurt you.
It's a book, but okay, go off, sis. But I did get to meet 3 of the Collins. I got to meet Ashley Green, Peter Fasanelli, and Jackson Rathborn. So that
I'm so jealous. First of all, those are like.
So that
I don't want to say some of the hot ones, but like
they are some of the hot ones. So that is Alice, Jasper, and Carlisle Cullen from Twilight. When I said I was literally shaking while meeting them, so I met them twice, but I'll get into it. When I literally said when I was shaking each time that I met them, I was literally like, "Hi."
Wrap around.
It was a complete like full circle effect. I felt like I was 13 again, carrying my Twilight book around the hall. But they were honestly so sweet. Saturday I did their autograph table. So
so you just went up to the table on Saturday?
I got up to the table on Saturday and I got their autographs on some pictures. I got them to each sign their still from the baseball scene.
Yeah.
But at each of their tables, they each gave me like time to talk to them, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Ashley
That's really important.
It is really important. Honestly, as a fan, like you don't expect to have like conversations with these people. But Ashley Green, I talked to her about how she's my mom's favorite because my mom's always loved Alice.
My mom loves you.
Oh, my mom loves you. No, I told her like
that though.
Yeah, she was super sweet. I told her like how I used to drag my mother to all these midnight showings, and movie releases, and how like Twilight. I told all of them this about how Twilight essentially got me into horror because from Twilight I was like, wait, vampires are cool, monsters are cool.
It's very true.
Wait a minute, But I had that conversation also with Jackson Rathborn, and his response was quite interesting because he asked me, well, what's your favorite like horror film? Like, what's your favorite type of horror? And I told him I really love that 80s campy horror. And I go, well, have you heard of Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
You're like, listen here, sir.
No, I asked him if he ever heard of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I thought he asked you. I was like,
no.
That was very weird.
I wish he did because he's like, no, I haven't. And my heart kind of sunk a little bit. But then he was like, have you seen Sleepaway Camp? And I'm like, wait a minute, sir. This is a conversation we can have. And we talked about it. And we talked about how he grew up in a very Southern home and he did the Southern accent to me. And I just like, okay, sir, I didn't mean to get pregnant today, but thank you. But
he like did the Sleepaway Camp. That's so cool. That's like such a fun campy horror movie. I actually just saw that for the first time last year. And I was like, where has this been my whole life?
Allie, what do you mean you only saw it last year?
I did. So I grew up watching a lot of the like pop culture horror movies, but like the campy ones and the not so well known ones. Like I'm recently getting into those, and I'm like because I loved Killer Clowns. But some people are like, wait, there's like a whole branch you have not explored.
Oh, girl,
but
that rabbit hole is deep.
It's actually, like I think it's actually really cool that he names that as like his favorite.
Right, but so when he named it, he also was like, and it scared me shitless essentially, and he told his parents about it, and his parents being like the traditional Southern, I think, Christian family that they are, they told him in a Southern, he like did the whole imitation for me in a Southern accent. I'm not even gonna try to do it because I'm not gonna try to insult him in any way, but they were like, oh, since you brought the devil into this house, we're gonna call the priest to come and like exorcise
the demons.
Exactly, he brought the demons in, and we just like had a laugh about it.
Demons, not the demons.
And then Peter was also very sweet. Peter, I actually saw him had a very sweet moment with this individual who seemed to have a learning disability, and he actually like came to the person in their wheelchair and like got next to them and took pictures with them.
Awesome.
It was just a very like sweet moment to see someone see someone be like human.
Feel included. You feel like you're not only seen, but sometimes, and that's the thing, as Nikki and I have said this before, we always recommend, if you can do any of these meet and greet photo ops, we highly recommend them, because every time we've done them, it's been a fantastic experience. Like, I'm really shy, and I mean, anytime I've done them with Nikki, so I have a little social backup. But no, like, the interactions are always very genuine, and it's like really cool, because for some people like Nikki, like, this is her favorite freaking movies growing up. Like, to be an adult and get to meet them is, like, so cool.
Yeah. It's just cool to see them be human. Like, I don't know, like,
Right.
it was a very human experience to witness. So the first thing I said, because I was the person right after the individual, and I was like, that was really sweet for you to do. Like, that was just a really, like, I don't know. It was just touching. It was like,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you're human. But he was very sweet. He like shook my hand and everything.
That's
All three of them,
awesome.
they got Haunt Girl stickers, and all three of them immediately put it on their phones. Like Ashley Green
That's
stuck it on her phone.
hilarious. It's so funny because every
Peter put it
time
on his.
anytime Nikki or I meet anybody, Nikki's like, here's our stickers, here's our koozies. And usually they use them and keep them. So fun fact, if you bring little like friendship bracelets and stuff, gift them.
Oh yeah. Ashley Green had a bunch of bracelets on her, and I was like, shit, I wish I made some bracelets for Ashley. I know. But they were honestly so sweet. But besides some vampires, technically she was a vampire recently. Spoiler alert. I also sorry. I also got to meet Catherine Newton at her table and got her autograph.
AKA the Lisa Frankenstein. AKA what was her name in Freaky?
I forget, but she was also the main
character. The main cool chick with the chainsaw, like the coolest chick on the block.
And she was also Sam and Abigail, which if you haven't seen Abigail,
Triple Threat, all fantastic movies, and all of them she did such a fantastic job in.
And again, like same experience that table. Like I didn't feel rushed having a conversation with her, and I just explained to her like, oh, like I love all the work you're doing. I gave her a sticker. We actually traded stickers. She had Lisa Frankenstein stickers to give out. So she's like, here, we'll trade. So I gave her a Haunt Girl sticker. She gave me a Lisa Frankenstein sticker. And I told her, like, we're all just, like, wanting more. We want more from her. And she's like, I'm trying. I'm like, sis, who do I have to talk to?
She's very up and coming, I will say. But she does such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But she's also so cute. Like, her fits, like...
She looked fucking fantastic this weekend. I'm sorry. But she was, like, in this pink velvet jumpsuit on Saturday, like... deep V. I was like, yes, girl, yes. And then today I actually saw her passing in the halls at school, and I was like, hey, Catherine, and she's like, hey. But she was in this really cute, like all white outfit, like white jeans, white crop top, white jacket, and the white crop top had like little heart, I think, on it. It was so cute. She looked adorable.
Yeah.
But she's just so cute, and she was so sweet. Also I got her signature. And then today I did the photo op with all three from the Twilight cast. That was the most expensive picture I've ever taken, but I had to do it. I knew if I left there without doing that, the 13-year-old in me would have been like kicking and screaming.
I love that you did. So the photo op and the autographs were separate and you did both.
Right. So the photo op you can pay for online, so you can use card, and you can pay for that ahead of time. So I bought mine a couple weeks ago just because I was worried of it selling out, whatever. Because they do sell out of spots.
It's a big one, yeah.
It's a big one. They limit the amount of one
picture.
Yeah. So you can pay for that ahead of time. The autographs you have to pay for at the time, and it's cash only. Which that is the biggest thing when it comes to these conventions. Take out cash and take out more than you think you're gonna need.
Even if they don't post, you're 100 over, bring more.
Yeah, they don't post how much their autographs are gonna be, and they all vary. Like Ashley Green's, I think was 80, and then Jackson and Peter were 60. Catherine's was 80. So you don't know. Like it all alternates. So bring more than you think you're gonna need, and even if you think you're not gonna want any, you're gonna end up wanting some. Because I walked into that room and I was like, I'm getting my picture tomorrow. I don't need it. And then the good thing is that they usually do have ATMs on site, but the ATMs are also with a fee, so it's a 3% fee. I had to take cash out at the ATM, and it was like 3%, and it was ouch.
So just come prepared with your cash.
Yeah.
You're going to want to buy
more than you're going to need. If you take out more than you need, it's still cash. You can still use it. Like if you leave with cash in your pocket after this convention, you can use it elsewhere. But if you go in with too little of cash, you're going to end up either A, having to take some more out at their expensive ATMs, or B, leave without something you'd want. So
I mean, no, we wouldn't want to do that. We wouldn't want to save our money.
No. We don't save money here. We don't save money here.
But overall, so not only that, there was a lot of other really cool stuff that we're here to talk about that went down at Spooky Empire. on Friday when I got to go, they had a Halloween Horror Nights panel. So last year they had a panel, and we both went. And the panel was all female HHN panel, and that was our first Spooky Empire ever.
Yeah, it was all females from like the creative team. I think it was.
Yeah, it was. I don't have everyone's names off the top of my head, but we did a whole episode on it. So go back and watch it. A year ago, and it was the most incredible. Like hearing all of the cool projects they worked on, and just like funny stories about houses that we all have loved, like especially in the past, more recent ones. So this year it was like, oh, this is a big panel, right? And something about the Halloween Horror Nights panels, I recommend if you go to Spooky Empire, they line up early.
So the panel was at 6. By 1:30/2, there's already people lining up.
Yeah. I feel like every year it gets busier and busier, which is awesome. Which is really cool because more people are finding out about it and more people are coming and going. Yeah. But people lined up early, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Because I think last year we only lined up like an hour early.
Last year, it was like an hour and a half early.
Right around that mark. But either way, there's plenty of room. So if you came in later, there was still spots. They do a really great job of giving plenty of seats for everybody to go. But if you want to sit closer to the front, you do have to get there a little bit early.
Yeah. Pro tip, unless you have VIP, you're not going to be seated directly in front.
Not in the front row.
Just an FYI.
If you want to sit close to the front, we do recommend, either get VIP or just really, really early, but you'll still be a couple rows behind.
Which Spooky did sell out of their VIP this convention a few days early this year.
Yeah. So get your tickets early. Highly recommend. We always do. Usually sometimes too you get like an early bird ticket discount if you get them earlier instead of at the door.
Yes. Yeah, if you buy them early, I think the whole weekend comes out to the same price as one day. So
yeah.
Plan ahead.
Exactly. So the Halloween Horror Nights panel, they had them Friday. They did last year as well. So if you're going to go next year, it's usually on Fridays. I do want to list out who was on the panel because it was a lot of very important people. We had Dan Shaw, who is the Assistant Director of Entertainment Production. Nicolette Zeinger, who is the Producer, Entertainment Production of HHN. Kelsey Ambrose, who is a Production Manager, Entertainment Production of HHN. Ramon Paradoa, who is a Show Director for Creative Development. Melissa Kilpatrick, who's a Scenic Field Producer. Nick Collins, who's a Senior Scenic Designer. Wendy Fennick, who's a Lighting Designer. I love lighting. Let me tell you about lighting.
I love lights.
We have Patty, I'm so sorry if I butchered these names. Patty Braswell, who's the Senior Technical Entertainment Projects and Lighting Show Control, which is also very cool. A few of these people we did hear from on the panel last year, so it was cool to see them come back. But overall, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that we got to hear from, which is incredible.
It was a large panel. It was one of the larger panels.
Absolutely. So basically in this panel, they'll talk a little bit for the first probably like 30, 45 minutes. They, of course, all of us are like always hope we get an announcement, right? But we haven't before not in Orlando.
Last year we didn't get one, yeah.
No, HHN Hollywood is notorious, John Murdy, for announcing houses at Midsummer Scream in July in California. Usually something with the Monsters house, because we'll get to see some pictures, hear some music, usually by Slash. But Orlando doesn't do that. And last year, I think going into the panel, we already had the Chucky announcement, but that was it.
Yeah. Getting into the panel, we only had Chucky, and then we left with...
We didn't hear about any upcoming houses or anything upcoming, only just stuff in the past, right? So, kind of the same with this panel for the most part, until we got about 40-some minutes in, and everyone is just kind of waiting, and then they flat out said, we have an announcement to make. The very first house announcement for HHN 33, and we all are like...
That's where everyone loses their shit.
Gasp.
That's when everyone lost their shit. Phones were out. So they had started the whole thing with saying, like, guys, no streaming, no pictures. It was a hot set technically from Universal. And everyone was following the rules up to that very exact moment. I feel like that's when the phones
I found out was, at least for that, we don't have any pictures or videos because I thought it was no pictures, videos, and then literally every phone in the audience was like this. And I was like, hello, is this allowed? And then I found out it was just no live streaming. Like, you could video it, you just couldn't live stream it. So it's allowed. So, but there's plenty of really awesome videos you can find from so many different platforms. Spooky Empire themselves has posted quite a bit, so check out their social media accounts. But they stood up and said, we got an original house announcement, which, first of all, we typically get an IP first. We have gotten originals first. It's been a while.
It's been a fat minute because usually they figure that the IPs are going to drag more traction than an original. Just because, you know, people come for the IPs.
But not the people at Spooky Empire. The people at Spooky Empire.
Spooky Empire people, no.
Watching this panel, we love the originals. Love. Right. But, okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. We got an original house that is a sequel house coming back, and we are getting Slaughter Sinema 2.
We're going back to the movies!
I'll go to the lobby. I'm so excited.
I'm first of all stoked. That house.
First of all.
Oh my gosh.
Slaughter Sinema 2. So for those of you, the name itself is very self-explanatory. It's Slaughter Sinema. Cinema spelled with an S.
So SS. Slaughter Sinema.
You're gonna die. All the movies are gonna kill you. So basically the plot for this house when we had it originally is you are at the Cary Drive-In in Cary, Ohio, which is, for those of you who don't know, very deep in the HHN lore.
Very much in the lore. That's where all this shit happens, is Cary, Ohio.
Lots of events have occurred in Cary, Ohio. It keeps coming back. We eventually, I think it would actually be fun to do an episode on a deep dive of Cary. Because
that would be a long episode.
It would be long.
Buckle the fuck up.
If you'd like to hear it, let us know. Yeah. But long story short, Cary, Ohio, you go through all of these movies, and each part of the house was a section of a different movie.
Not just a movie. We're talking 80s B-rated horror movies. Like, the cream of the crop, people. I'm talking, like, camp is materialized in this house. This house is camp. It's the absolute, like, best. We can talk about some of the names in this house.
Let's go through some of the original. Well, just before we do that, I will say they did say for this one we will be getting 8 new films for this, so we likely won't get any of the old ones, but there will be nods to the original, and the original had 10, so I wouldn't be surprised if these were like sequels to the original, so we got last time, or kind of like a prequel or a spin-off or something, because those were just such a good diverse group. But do you want to go ahead and go through the 10? We had 10 last time.
So the 10 that we had last time were the Foul Fist of Dr. Faustus, Sorority Sacrifice, which if you know me, that has a very close, dear space in my heart there. Devil Dogs, which is where Allie's coming from. Pumpkin Guts, Shitty Kids, which is where I was trying to go with the tiara because I'm a child. Cult of the Beast Baby, Amazon Cannibals from Planet Hell, Barber Chop, so Chop, Midnight Snack 2, The House Swarming, and Attack of the Swamp Yeti, which the Attack of the Swamp Yeti is where the Yeti joke originated.
Yes.
With HHN just bringing Yetis every year. This is Mother Yeti. This is where this came from.
Yeah, so basically with this one, we had it at HHN 28, which was 5 event years ago. It was in 2018, so technically 6 years. We lost a year to the pandemic. But, we see that pattern a lot where they kind of wait 5 years to remake make a sequel, bring it back, revamp it, which is exciting because 28 was a fantastic year overall.
Honestly, 28 and 29 were like peak HHN vibes. We had the 80s synth going on. We had the Park Loop was immaculate. We had the Lagoon Show. We had the Monsters House in 29. That was all of them. It was just peak time for HHN, for me at least.
It really was.
Vibes were unmatched.
Absolutely. And this house, again, is a huge fan favorite because we all just, it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it's those 80s campy movies. It was a very cool theming. You go in, the facade was like the drive-in. There's cars, there's a projector screen. You see trailers. Fun fact, some of the trailers that we saw on the screen were clips from previous HHN houses. So one of them was actually Scarecrow the Reaping. We got to see little clips from the house, which was cool. And Hive as well. So it's really cool to just kind of tie those in. So I'm excited because this is like that, but revamped.
Right.
Now,
I think this house is going to be a huge fan service house.
Oh, we're so excited.
It's going to be a huge fan service.
Looking at the spec map, it's kind of been hinted at for a little bit, and we don't want to get too excited. But we had even said before, like, if we get Slaughter Sinema 2, like, it's over. No other house is needed. And this was our first announcement.
Right.
Our first one.
We're hitting the ground so hard right now, running. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know what they can announce after this to, like, top it.
This also, in my opinion, looking at the spec map, it seems like it's going to be an original heavy hitter year. Yeah. And because some of the IPs, you know, they're newer, so we got to wait and see. We haven't gotten any announced yet, but they're going to come soon. But them announcing an original first is like so symbolic to that, in my opinion. It's like, we're going to, like, even though it was done at Spooky Empire and didn't have like a full commercial or anything like preview merch. Now we'll talk about the merch as well, because we get a new shirt. Yeah. But it's really cool. Like, as fans, like HHN fans for years, like, that's what we love about the event, is we love the originals. The IPs are cool, but like, we love the originals.
I feel like even the people that go because they want to see a certain IP, they go, they see the IP house, and yeah, they enjoy it because, you know, they're fans of the IP. But then they go like, oh, let me go check out the other houses, and they check out the originals. Yeah. And they go, oh my god, that was so much fun. So like, yes. Even if they go for whatever, they went for Halloween, or they went for Texas Chainsaw, they went for Stranger Things, whatever it may be, they're still going to go and see the originals. I feel like a lot of times they leave saying, oh my god, you know what? That one house with that fucking pumpkin guy dude was fucking amazing. Or that one house that we're in a fucking puppet theater, that was fucking cool. You know, like, they leave like still enjoying the original houses.
Exactly. Do you remember, I think my first original house ever was Nightingale's Blood Prey, and I'll tell you what, the originals for 21, my first year, we had like Winter's Night, we had The Forsaken, we had Nightingales, like, oh my god, some of the hard, like, heaviest hitting originals ever, in my opinion. So it's like, I love the originals. I will always come for the originals. I'm not going to complain. I love that this was our first announcement. That shows you how big of a deal this is to, like, HHN fans.
And then, not to mention, they also brought a little friend along with them.
Yes.
To the announcement. We got to see.
That was new too, because that's something they've done at Midsummer Scream, where we've seen, and Knott's has done it as well, has brought out, they do an announcement and they bring out a scare actor in costume. And then we got the Slaughter Sinema announcement, and they were like, okay, we're going to bring them out. And we were like, wait
a minute. I'm not ready.
Wait, there's more. So the cool thing about this, though, is we heard that the name that this scare actor is from the movie is called Heavy Metal Hell 3D. And this guy comes out, skeleton mask, neon fishnet shirt.
Huge mohawk with like the spikes and colors.
My dog nose is itchy. But no, it was such a cool costume. We have shared it on our Twitter as well. So check it out. But it looks fantastic, and it also looks a lot like the guy on the shirt that we got the same day.
Yeah. It's that same, like, 90s punk rock theming. Like, that's, like, the vibe of this guy. And he has, like, a leather jacket on, and, like, he has, like, the fishnet top over a tank top.
It's
like,
it's so 90s. It screams
giving, 90s. Yeah, it's giving the shirt. Which, like, the artwork, we love the artwork. The artwork on this shirt is amazing.
I love it. This is my favorite shirt. I like this better than the previous shirt in mine, actually.
But we also got another shirt this week. This past week.
The one with the mohawk is the one that just dropped.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we got him on the shirt. It's like on an acid wash t-shirt. So we have that. We have the orange, which is also on the black now. So if you don't like the orange, you can get on the black. And now we have the acid wash t-shirt, which has the guy on the mohawk.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, something I noticed, because I was like, because when I first saw the shirt, I was like, oh, there's some cute little things. There's a crow on there, and it kind of looks like
cute little guys
that we had from last year with all the theming of the Zodiac and all that. There was a crow on there, a pumpkin guy. a couple stars. And at first I was like, oh yeah, it's probably just fits the theme. But then when I saw this Mohawk guy come out, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, there's a pumpkin on there. Are we getting a pumpkin movie? Like, because we had pumpkin guts in the first Slaughter Sinema. I was like, are we getting pumpkin guts too? I liked that part.
Listen,
I don't know.
I think they can bring back some of the originals from the first house as sequels. Like, I think it can work.
But do you think any of the other symbols on the shirt are hinting at Slaughter Sinema? Like the crow and the pumpkin and everything else?
There's so much on that shirt. It gave me like sensory overload in the best way.
I loved it. I loved it. I want to buy it. I actually want that one.
I need it. I was about to make a trip to Universal this weekend if it didn't have to make an impromptu.
I know, it was so much already. It was so busy. But the new shirt I really like a lot. It does definitely match Heavy Metal Hell 3D. Now, Heavy Metal Hell 3D. I jokingly am like, so we gonna get the glasses?
Girl, we ain't saying no glasses. Girl, we ain't getting no glasses.
I know we're not.
In this economy? Yeah, I think it's just gonna be like the coloring, like the same coloring that's on the skull guy. We're gonna see throughout the entire house. So like, oh my god, excuse me.
No, I completely agree.
You're gonna see like like that neon coloring. They're gonna play with the colors, make it look like 3D, but it's just
So something else that Fright Fest did last in California, and I think they've done this one for a while. Something that they did is they had a house that was like a 3D house. Mm-hmm. On the inside, it was very neon, very like black light heavy. But instead of actual 3D glasses, we got those kind of like light refracting glasses. I actually prefer those because you can still see everything perfectly normal. It just makes certain things kind of pop more. So I think that would be a lot to go through Slaughter Sinema, but it would be cool, especially if we're doing like 90s neon themes. Be like, slap some glasses on. I don't think I'll be 90s neon.
I would love to see like 3D glasses or the light refracted glasses, whichever. But this is what would happen. They would start giving them out, right? And they'd run out within a week, and it'll be the house without.
But they did it before. They did
it when they did it before, and then it was before we were reaching these capacities that we're reaching now.
That's true, but I mean, to be fair, I mean, they've had multiple 3D houses in the past that they've ran for. I mean, yeah, they know how many they have now. There's probably a reason 3D houses are kind of dead and gone, but I'm still gonna fight for them to come back. I miss that vortex.
Oh, girl,
that
vortex is gone for a reason. I feel like enough people have had accidents on there. Like even me going down sober on that, I was like, where's the floor? Where's the floor?
No, but the funny thing is I feel like no matter how many times I convince myself, I'm like, okay, it's an optical illusion. I'm not actually spinning. I still would feel myself like tipping over.
The best part was like I forgot what
the rails.
There was one house that they stuck a guy with a fucking chainsaw in there. So besides the fact that you're fighting for your life already, trying to not to fall, this fucker's coming up.
Oh my god!
I forgot what house that was, but I remember that being fucking ridiculous.
But yeah, Slaughter Sinema. Now let me ask you this, because Heavy Metal Hell 3D, when he came out, in my opinion, that's not given 80s horror. That's given like 90s.
That's giving straight 90s punk rock, baby. And
so are we gonna get, because the first Slaughter Sinema was 80s movies, do we think these are gonna be like 90s? Or are we gonna get a 90s event?
You know what? I can see them doing a 90s theming on Slaughter Sinema and be like, we're back in the theater, we're in the 90s now.
10 years later, really 5 plus.
You made it to the sequel, but you're not gonna make it to the trilogy.
Facts.
Your contract
is down. The people in the back.
I could, definitely with like, especially how the merch is coming too. Like, I know I said like, don't expect like the theming to go with the merch, whatever. But like, if they're gonna lean into it, fucking lean into it. Make everything 90s themed. Bring back all the 90s goodness. What 90s?
Something I really want this year as a request. I would really like. Okay, first of all, if this is on our 3 House Unmasking tour, I'm gonna shit my pants. Because we're doing this August 11th. So let's just say a prayer to Taylor Swift.
For shits and giggles, for T.S. Swift, thank you.
The Pumpkin Lord, please give us Slaughter Sinema on the tour.
Por favor, por favor.
Please.
Can you imagine? I'd be like, where are you hiding him? Where is the neon Bone Daddy.
But also just being able to take pictures. We don't know where this one is going to be located just yet. It's a little early. Last year, 5 events ago, it was in Sprung Tent 2 or Sprung Tent 1.
It was in one of the Sprung Tents, and I think they should keep it in a Sprung Tent because they can add that drive-in feel with the cars, the signage, yeah, and then they can add like 90s looking cars. I don't know cars. Are there certain?
Technically, I mean, they could do that in the soundstage, but I liked how it was outside. I liked how it felt like you were at a drive-in movie.
The vibe outside was what we need.
I hope it's the same, for sure.
For sure.
Now, what kind of, like, I wonder, because I feel like the first one had very iconic, like, music and ambiance. I'm really, like, we're probably looking into this too much, but I'm really curious to see what direction they take this. Like, do you think they can strike lightning twice? Because the first one was such a heavy hitter. I think if anyone can do it, it's them. But
if done correctly, they can do it. If done, it needs to be done correctly though, and I think under the direction that they currently have, I think they can do it.
Yeah.
When has HHN ever led us astray? I can name it, but you know.
I can name a few, but not for the most part, they've earned the work. They've earned it. They've earned our trust.
They've earned it. I can see instead of like the music that we had last time, it's all like 90s pop rock going through.
That would be fun.
Movie theming wise, like what was big in the 90s? I was big in the 90s. I was born. I
barely made it. I was like 98. I barely made the 90s.
The second coming of Jesus Christ. Just kidding. But they can definitely like lean into the 90s themings. I know that Slaughter Sinema, the first one, was like very much
I feel 80s. Like vampires were big in the 90s, aka well, Twilight wasn't the 90s.
No, Twilight was like in the 0s and 10s, yeah. What's the 0 and 10s? 2000s and
just the 2000s.
The 10s. Yeah, Twilight was the 10s. Do you imagine they did a spoof of Twilight? I think I would die.
Yeah.
I would die in that house. You're gonna die in this house.
Horror. Let's see what's big in the 90s. The clown one came out. I know she did last summer. Halloween, Blair Witch. No, that was 89. 99. It was. Night of the Living Dead.
So imagine they do spoofs of all of those.
Cool. Psycho, Sixth Sense, Gremlins 2 came out in 1990. Do you have a favorite from the first one? I actually really liked Midnight Snack 2.
Oh, I liked Sorority Sacrifice.
Oh, that was good too.
Just because when I was going through it, I was a sorority girl, and I was like, "Yay, sacrifice!" We don't do that shit. You know, I was like, "Yay!"
They did such a good job of having such diverse movies.
Mm-hmm. I also liked the Amazon Cannibal from Planet Hell.
Yes, the neon.
Something about women just like killing people really gets me going.
Yeah, we're here for it. We're here for the women.
I support women rights and wrongs. But something about like just like women killing people just really gets me going. Yeah.
But overall, I guess just a quick summarize, because we've basically talked about Slaughter Sinema quite a bit. I want to give a quick thank you to Spooky Empire and Halloween Horror Nights for giving us this announcement first and as a panel.
Beautiful. And I know it was a group effort between Spooky and HHN to put this together. So thank you. It was so well done. I think all the fans are happy. I know we're happy.
Beyond happy.
I spoke to several guests this weekend that were stoked and said it was like one of the best experiences they've ever got to experience an announcement.
Yeah.
Being around people who enjoy the same things as you, and like, you know, you're not at work being like, oh my god, yay, you're actually with like-minded people
who are hyped. Like walking out of that panel, everyone's just like, oh my god, did that just happen? Like, did that really just happen? Like,
did that really just happen? I'm sorry, I'm in wicked mind right now. But yeah, I think I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good year. It's shaping up to be a really good year.
I completely agree.
We have one announcement, and I'm like, it's gonna be a good year.
One. I think originals definitely deserve that spotlight, in my opinion, because especially creative, their heart and souls go into these originals. Some of them have been talked about, worked on for years.
Some of them have been written like years ahead.
Was mentioned in the panel, Charles Gray is working on Slaughter Sinema 2, or or it's already, I don't know if it's done, it might be done. But he actually was the one who did the first one. So it's very cool to have the same people on creative doing these sequel houses that were able to make them come to life the first time. So it's like, last year we got all of our originals in a mass drop in July, like 2 weeks, like mid-July, like July 13th, around then, mid-July. So, you know, we're looking for the originals, and it's so much to digest at once, to sit there and read the description. We actually did get a brief description, some things that we would be seeing in this one, from the Halloween Horror Nights Twitter account, which I didn't see until after the panel, but let me pull that up quick, because they did kind of hint at some of the movies that we would be seeing, or like the types. They did, I'll read it really quick. They said, if you're dying for a B-movie horror marathon, head to the Cary Drive-In. Scream through scenes from creature features, grindhouse gore, spaghetti westerns, and more. Tickets on sale now. What is a spaghetti western?
So it's when you make spaghetti, but you're in the West.
Where's my spaghetti?
Where's Mama's spaghetti?
It's Ghost Town, but they're Italian.
I think it's like a mix. Isn't it like westerns that were made in Italy? No, I sound stupid.
Western is a broad subgenre of Western films produced in Europe.
Oh my god, okay, thank God. I'm gonna sound like the biggest idiot.
That sounds so fun. They're gonna draw their guns, be like, some cowboys.
I'm still getting over that I got that right. I'm gonna sound like the biggest idiot. People are gonna clip my voice and be like,
meanwhile, I'm like, it's Ghost Town, but they're Italian.
Get out of the town.
My gold. But I think that'll be great. Honestly, those films are fun. And then to put them in a horror haunted house setting is very cool. Creature feature, we're never going to complain about those. We got little gremlins. We got little...
I'll be seated.
Name some other creatures. Why can I think of more than gremlins?
Gremlin.
I can think of more than gremlins. You go, gremlins.
Creatures from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, but like those ones, like monsters, creatures from the deep, could be ocean. We don't know.
Could be ocean.
Grindhouse gore. That to me screams meaty meats. But
what's it called?
Grindhouse gore.
I was gonna say, is that like men on from Grindr killing their dates? Which I'm here for. Wait, I want to see that. Wait.
Well, now I want to Google what what that genre means.
Watch me be right yet again.
Grindhouse gore. Can you tell we're haunt girls?
I knew what a Western spaghetti is.
Spaghetti Western? If return that refers to the genre of a low-budget films that are typically violent, exploitative, or bizarre.
Okay, so that's kind of like,
Okay, so they actually give Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a example.
Texas Chainsaw is one of them. It's like the really, really brutal, like, I'm pretty sure House of a Thousand Corpses is one of them. Like, just like excessive brutality.
They're gory, but as you can see, overall, there's a very diverse. We're gonna go from Western Europe to a gory scene to creature features. It sounds a lot like the original, but kind of better.
Right.
I knock on wood, or ever the wood. I can't find a hole in my wall. Knock on wood that it's better. I do think it's gonna be better. But then we're also getting heavy metal health 3D. So that's like 4 of the 8 genres. Like, it just sounds very fun.
They knew what they were doing with that Skeleton Man. They knew what they were doing. Because as soon as he came out, I was like...
It works so well, too, because he very much fits this event theming that we've been seeing in the preview and such.
Honestly, like, I think it's a full circle effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full circle effect. And kudos to that scare actor, because he's gonna get thirst trapped all season. Is that the? Because there's already girls like, oh, I'm one of them. I was like, but Daddy, I love him.
It's like Bone Daddy times 3.
Bone Daddy, but make him 90s. But make
they just
him.
keep adding more. We keep adding more. We had one for Mardi Gras. We had
It's
one
like
for
a whole family of
another one
them.
for HHN.
It's a whole family of them.
Not gonna
It's like the Cullens. You know how they're all hot?
Yeah, but they're all skeleton men.
But they're all skeleton, which the Cullens sometimes look like skeletons because they're so pale. It's okay. No sun.
So I'm gonna look at a calendar here because we just got our announcement and we have 9 more to go. Looking at this, so we got this on Friday, May 17th. In my opinion, I don't think we're gonna get any more in May.
God, I hope not. I'll be in Europe.
Weeks. Yeah, Nicole will be gone. So if we do,
you are not allowed to. You are not allowed to announce anything until June 10th. Sorry.
We typically get the IP separate, so that leaves all of June and then probably the first week of July. Because mid-July, at least in years past, everything can change. It already has changed. Our first
changing, yeah.
So everything else is out the window. But we usually get frequent fear passes and a drop all the originals, everything, like 2 weeks into July. Especially with the event starting in August, they got to get this out earlier.
Yeah, they do. So, they need to.
So that leaves all of June, first week of July, to announce it's if we have 4 IPs, which is, as of right now, rumored to be Insidious, a Universal Monsters, A Quiet Place, and Ghostbusters. If we're looking at Insidious, A Quiet Place, Ghostbusters, because they dropped Monsters with the drop ball last year.
Yeah.
We got 3 IP announcements over a month and a half. So probably we're starting to look at almost every 2 weeks we're going to be getting an announcement.
I would really hope, for my sake, that they don't do a massive drop.
I know.
It's more of like every week.
Every week we get one.
Just because with those massive drops, I feel like my brain is like going to everything and I can't like sit down and be like, oh my God, we're getting X, Y, and Z. Like I know last year when the mega drop happened, I was like, yay, Monsters in Paris. And everyone's like on something else. And I'm like, but wait, Monsters in Paris. So like
it took me days to like comprehend.
I need to process it. Yeah.
Because we got Monsters, all the originals, the show, and all the scare zones in one announcement.
Right.
And it was insane.
It was. I literally felt like overstimulated at that point. Like I literally was like,
as somebody who like runs their social media account, I'm like, wait, so stressed out. And
I'm like, LOL, Monsters in Paris, we're getting Phantom and Hunchback. I was still there. Listen, I'm still at the restaurant. Like everyone is out, and I'm still like, Monsters in Paris, we're getting Phantom. I needed to be like weekly drops. And then with weekly drops, we have more possibility of getting like merch with it.
Yeah.
You know, when they do those massive drops, you're not the possibility of you getting merch for that drop immediately goes down.
The thing is we usually don't get them for the originals. We usually get a mass drop, right? And not merch with it,
right?
And then usually closer to August, we'll get like tribute store previews. We'll get the merch start to come out. We didn't get the Monsters shirt with the drop.
I was so upset.
We didn't get a shirt until it opened, until preview.
I think HHN learned last time with Slaughter Sinema that people love Slaughter Sinema. So I hope we have more original themed merch this year. Just imagine like a Carrie drive-in shirt.
Oh yeah. I don't need to imagine it. I've been there.
I'm in the walls. I'm in the walls.
We are about to be in your walls. But honestly, so far we've gotten 2 preview shirts. Got a tumbler and a cup. Yep. We more recently, I do want to talk about really quick before we wrap up. We did get another video.
Oh yeah.
There is a Cyclops on the arches of Halloween Horror Nights.
What the fuck is that thing?
Apparently his name is Otis.
First of all, I need to see the birth certificate. Who the fuck named this ding Otis? Let me see the social ID. Let me see the ID. I need to see something.
Twitter.
Okay.
Halloween Horror Nights, the account called him Otis.
Okay, then I'll accept that. I didn't want like Max 3X to be like
stamped approved.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that. But who the fuck are you, Otis? Where did you come from?
Basically, to summarize quick this video, we kept seeing snippet preview videos of this door. And it was like, finally this like sound wave came. This janitor is like sweeping, he's
Cleaning up.
mopping the streets, I guess. Get rid of the puddles. And we hear some noises in the storm drain, right? And sounds like some people are screaming down there. Which actually for HHN 30, Jack was down there with all
Jack
of his.
was down there with some people.
A little bit different than that, because I don't think it's Jack this year, but something.
I think he's renting it out. I think he's renting it out.
He leased it to somebody else.
Leased it out to someone else.
Here. Because they said, well, horror lives here.
There's some horrors in this house. I don't fucking know.
Some horrors in this house. But so we saw the sewer, go down there. It's the same thing. There's been some little videos of people being like, I hear things. I'm underneath. You're never going to guess what I saw. And then it's like, ah, and then it cuts out. But long story short, there's a big shock wave, sound wave, boom. Everything, the walls break open, the door goes, ka-chow.
Chow is Lightning McQueen.
The door comes flying off the hinges. And then all of a sudden we see this overlook of the front arches, and it's like in a reflection you see this like red scary
like
sky.
devil like arch.
And then okay, I don't want to say it looks like the Upside Down because it's absolutely not Stranger Things, but it looks very similar. It looks very similar.
So it's like that red and black aesthetic in the puddle, in the reflection, and then it's literally a cyclops arch.
Yeah,
with one eye, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
It was funny. So when I first saw this, I was like, I don't know why, but that Cyclops thing reminds me of something I've seen on Nickelodeon. And I was trying to figure it out, and then somebody was like, oh, it's like
the
that
monkey?
Huh?
The monkey?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Yeah, I'm Paul.
That was it. And I was like, no, maybe that's not it. I don't know.
It's bad that as soon as you said that, I was like, the monkey?
Also, I was thinking SpongeBob, like, he takes the bus to, like, the scary part, and then he gets out.
Oh, the deep,
weird, like, eyes. I don't know. It's too much. It's definitely not SpongeBob. We're not getting a SpongeBob house.
Yeah.
They have the rights to it, but we're not going to do it. But yeah, this is very... I think a lot of people are making some speculation on this. In my opinion, I think they're just going to say, hey, horror lives here. This is our house.
I think it's literally like... We're entering that alternate dimension where like horror is, and that's what the reflection is, and we're gonna be in there.
We're gonna be in there beneath the park.
Yeah, it's gonna be the park, but you know we're in that hellscape.
Yes,
we're in the walls.
Yeah,
we are with the Cyclops.
Correct.
Right.
So I don't. If anything, some people have made some comments about this being a new icon.
I'm not gonna make a game.
It could be some kind of like overpowering like power. Like, you know how fear was like
an essence?
Ultimate like like had control over everything. I think if it's gonna be a thing, it's gonna be like that. I don't think it's
he's horror or they're horror. Otis is horror.
It's kind of like horror lives here, like they are the horror of the park and lives in the park. And I think that's how they're gonna tie in like the scare zones and everything else like they usually do.
How long do you think it's gonna take for people to make there's some horrors in this house shirt? And should we be the first to do it?
I mean, maybe. I don't see why not.
If you take the idea from us, I will send a turn on your way. Just kidding.
Just kidding. It's not even our line. It's their line. To be honest. But yeah, I mean, this video, it's about... So for Slaughter Sinema, we didn't get a video.
Huh?
For Slaughter Sinema, we did not get a video.
We got the panel and then the scare actor reveal. But we didn't get a video.
But our next one, we probably will be getting a video.
Well, they only do the videos for the IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the next one... I feel like the next one has to be an IP.
I think so, too.
They have to...
So, if you had to think, what do you think we're getting as the next IP announcement?
Well, Quiet Place 2, or whatever, Quiet Place Chapter 1.
Day 1. So something about that, I do want to mention, that doesn't come out until June 20th. So we have another couple weeks till that comes out. I think we're going to get Ghostbusters first. And then A Quiet Place. And then Insidious, then a drop ball. if I had to guess.
Yeah. I think they should have dropped the Ghostbusters thing with the film just to catch that heat.
I'll tell you what, when we got the last video with the Cyclops, I thought that was a Ghostbusters announcement. Because that's how we got the last announcement, was the guy pushing the water in the park.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like in front of like where the fire station was, and he's like, you know, he comes out of the sewer. It was a whole thing. It was very, very similar to the Ghostbusters announcement video we got back in the day.
I think, well, they also have summer coming up now. I mean, we basically know that Ghostbusters are part of the summer thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll be like, summer's not over, and we're going to HHN.
I bet you we open summer and get an HHN Ghostbuster announcement very shortly after.
I can see that.
Because I think they're going to wait to do A Quiet Place until the week it comes out or the week after.
Oh, The Quiet Place is going to be like close with the film.
With the release. But Insidious they can do whenever they want.
What?
Insidious they can announce whenever they want.
Insidious can drop it right now and be like, here it is, yeah. There's nothing holding them back for that. If that's what we're getting. Again, this is all hypothetical. We do not know for certain what these IPs are. We are going.
This is not based on.
We are going off of the scuttlebutt. We are going off of the rumors. We do not know. We are not in the inn. We are not with creative. No one has told us anything. This is just from what we've heard.
Literally spec maps and just
speculation maps. Yeah,
us being giddy,
just being girls.
Yeah, we're just some girls.
Watch us be totally wrong, and it's like Abigail.
We weren't not with the houses, but with the videos. We were like looking so deep into them last year, all the IP videos, and then we were like so off.
We've grown as individuals to not put that much effort into these videos. Not that we're not going to watch it. Not that we did not watch those videos like on loop and paused every second to see if there's something there.
We still do it.
We still do it. I did it for that. How do you think I got the picture of the fucking Cyclops thingy and then I put the little video of what the fuck is that thing? Like, I still did it. Listen. But I didn't do it as hard as I did in the past to get the clues that I thought were there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were deciphering the fucking code and all I said was, don't go alone.
Never go alone.
I fucking wanted to.
We were there with like our help.
I was like, what? Yeah. All my efforts just went into this. My bills are not paid. And all I have to show for it is never go alone.
But overall, first announcement is here. I predict we probably won't get one in May anymore. It's already May. I mean, by the time you're hearing this, May 20th. That gives them 2 weeks. They know Nikki's going to be in Europe, so they wouldn't dare.
They can't do it then. Chad already knows.
We're also getting previews, pass holder previews for DreamWorks Land.
Yes.
Next week, towards the end of the week. I think you can sign up on May 21st, and then the 22nd to the 24th is when you can actually go. So I don't think they're going to overlap an HHN announcement with that. And then that leaves us the last week of May. We're waiting until June 20th for A Quiet Place to come out. I'm looking at the first or second week of June.
It has to be.
I think. That's what I had to guess.
Listen, they have Universal, when it comes to their PR, they do not release things at the same time, if that makes sense. So they're going to be all about the DreamWorks Land or whatever. They're going to be all about DreamWorks. They're not going to be like, MBTW Insidious is coming to HHN. No, they're going to be like Shrek.
Yeah.
Donkey. Trolls.
Yeah.
What else is there? Shrek, Donkey. I don't know.
Kung Fu Panda.
Panda. Yes.
Kung Fu Panda.
They're not going to be like LOL and then Ghostbusters. No, they're going to be all about that, which I totally understand. That's the best marketing thing to do. You don't want to spread to them.
And then I think all the summer stuff opens June 13th. So that gap in between, that like first week of June, is a good time.
Yes.
Because then after that opens, then we get A Quiet Place.
Yes. A good time for Universal to announce HHN thing would be anytime after June 10th.
Yeah. Now, I know I've talked about this on a previous episode, but I do want to bring it back up. With the parade starting in June and the Lagoon show and all of that, I'm curious to see how the parade impacts Scare Zone construction.
So with the parade, I'm anticipating a lot of the sets to be rollaways. and we're just gonna
Makes sense.
scoot to doots when it's time to, and scoot to doots backs when it's time to.
Well, if you think about it, like the scenic we got in Jungle of Doom, they started that pretty early. But that like Central Park's not in the way.
No,
San
they can do
Fran's
whatever they
not in
want
the way.
there. Yeah.
It's
San
really
Francisco's
just
open.
that.
Oh, did you see the statue's gone?
I did.
Who is that person, first of all? I don't know who the fuck that person is, that statue, but good riddance. Sorry, but I was tired of fucking running into people in that little corner. The little issue right there. I feel like that statue took up so much space. I don't know if it's that. This is the big statue of the man pointing at the end of New York before you get to San Francisco.
I'm trying to remember. Oh,
it made like a fork.
Yeah.
And then people like forget how to walk and be like, oh.
Yeah. Well, also I feel like the parade goes that way, right? That's gotta make it
does.
easier.
But wasn't he there during Mardi Gras?
Was he there? Been there.
He's always been there, right? They don't take him down for that.
Well, they go around it, but they usually corral off an area, and it's like a tight turn,
right?
And people stand near it.
He's gone, or they're gone. Whoever that person was.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But please rest in peace for a while. That just was a clusterfuck there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really was busy.
Yeah, but that's gone.
Usually for HHN, we get a food tent there, and there's usually a line there, and then there's the Megans were there, and it was that was a very busy spot.
Full respect whoever that person is, unless they're an entitled white man, which probably was the case. They didn't do anything, but it was just a nuisance to maneuver around that, especially with the crowds.
Yeah. No, I know.
But he's gone.
But we have lots to look forward to. Hopefully, maybe Nikki will be in Europe next week. I'm going to try to get out to DreamWorks Land preview if I can get a day to go. I would really love to go. But we're busy as heck, as always. A lot of our friends on some of the other podcasts, they're all doing a trivia this week on Wednesday at Topgolf. Fear and Beer, HHN 365, RIP Tour, and Catacombs, I believe, are all doing it together.
Please go out, guys.
We'll be in Miami, so we couldn't do it. They did extend the invite to us, which was awesome. We would have loved to. But
please
go out for sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking if we're going or not. We won't be.
Trust me, if we were local, we would.
Yeah. If I was not en route to London, I would be. But speaking of, while I'm there, I will be hitting some spooky-esque things. I'll be doing a Jack the Ripper tour. I'll be doing the Catacombs in Paris. There's something else I'm doing. I'm doing a few spooky thingies that I'll be posting. I can post it on Hong Girls Crew.
Very excited. We'll be keeping an eye on
all the fun stuff.
So we'll try and keep our social medias updated. Like Nikki said, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Hong Girls Pod, on YouTube at Hong Girls. And until then, I guess thanks for watching and for listening.
Hi.
I'm Allie.
And I'm Nikki. Bye.